Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform, please. Reach out to me directly. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com for pricing. Today, we're discussing the icon of Breguet. And it has been since the mid-1950s, when Breguet was one of several contractors to tender an offer to the French military aviation Type 20 contract. The resulting chronographs, named after the contract itself, were built by several, but Breguet persisted the longest in manufacturing and servicing the watches for French military aviation. In the modern era, alongside the Marine, the Type 20 and its family have become one of the two sports watch pillars of the modern haute horlogerie Breguet brand. So this is the Breguet Type 20 Transatlantique, so called because it has a date. It's reference 3820, 39.5 millimeters in diameter in yellow gold. The watch measures 14.4 millimeters thick and is 45.4 millimeters from lug to lug, with a broad 21 millimeter spacing between the lugs. Throwing it on my 16 centimeter circumference wrist, you can see that the watch's most becoming feature is just how narrow it is across the wrist. At under 46 millimeters, you could wear this watch on a wrist as small as 13.5 centimeters circumference, making this a aviation-inspired chronograph for him and for her. And while it's not particularly thin, the generously sloped bezel and domed crystal means it effectively wears thinner than it is. A cuff could ride up over the flank quite easily. And again, my wrist is 16 centimeters circumference. Taking a look at the hardware and the software, we have large rectangular scale alligator leather and a matte finish. It's bolstered a little bit, stuffed to give it volume. It has a monotone stitch. It has a folded edge. It's calfskin on the bottom. This is a Breguet factory strap in outstanding condition. And we get a matching Breguet folding clasp. You can see a single fold clasp in yellow gold like the rest of the watch, with a friction snap fit. The case flanks are coined. The lugs are short, relatively narrow when viewed end on, and they come to a little bit of a teardrop taper. You can see the case is all of high polish. We do have a screw down crown. The watch is 100 meters water resistant, and we have vintage inspired pump style pushers. We have an aviator's bezel with a sharper and louder click than you typically find with these bidirectional aviator bezels. This one is worthy of a dive watch in terms of how it feels and sounds. Now, the idea here is that you use it as a timing bezel, so you can time two events concurrently, one with the chronograph and then one with the bezel. Turn off the lights. You can see this is a Luminova era Type 20. They did make them with tritium. The timepiece features a fully luminescent dial, including the chronograph seconds hand, including the bezel index, including the sub-register where you can actually see chronograph minutes in big eye format. So it's called a big eye format because if you look carefully, you can see that chronograph minutes, more important than chronograph hours and constant seconds, sits on a bigger register to make it easier to read those individual minutes. Moreover, the register itself features luminescent indices, so you can actually read the elapsed minutes on the chronograph in the dark. The dial has a lovely gloss black base. We have Arabic numerals, and we have applique indices outboard of the transferred numerals. You can see little gold indices outboard, and then there's a lovely gilt-style golden printing. We have syringe-style hands for the hours and minutes, and then a counterweighted lancet-style seconds hand that's been rolled on a mini roller so that you get an optically pleasing impression when you view it from head on. The sub-registers are slightly sunken, and if you look carefully, you can see that the minutes and seconds track outboard is slightly raised. Solid case back, screw down, declaring that this is a 100-meter water-resistant Transatlantique. The timepiece features a movement based on the old Lemania 1350, which is one of the great automatic cam lateral clutch chronograph movements of all time. So the Lemania 1350 dates back to the 70s. This is called Breguet Caliber 582Q. It's an automatic winder with a 48-hour power reserve. It has a quick set, though not hacking seconds. It includes flyback functionality, like the original Type 20 from the 50s. You can reset and restart the chronograph without first stopping it to time events that occur in rapid succession. The movement beats away at 28,800 vibrations per hour, and as I mentioned, the timepiece includes a combination of cam cycling of the chronograph functions and a lateral clutch. I should mention that here the tuning of the cam is so crisp, remember this is a Breguet, that it is indistinguishable from a column wheel. So if you have any reservations about a cam operated chronograph versus a column wheel, Note that there are quite a few column wheels that feel a lot worse than this cam system. Breguet has higher standards for its movements, even in cases where the cases, no pun intended, are solid. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.